Hello, Sweet Tooth and Flutter Pyroxis here. Gonna play more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Time for some Phoenix Row.
I realized in the last video I got unreasonably upset and angry over plants in a photo. Yeah, and then I thought about it. I was like, wait, it does make sense the other way around. No. No, I was just stuck on it. I got unreasonably upset over that. Because I remember I was like, no. Oh well. Anyways,
Tom,
what?
What if this guy's guilty?
I don't know. What if he is?
I mean, this is totally the reasonable doubt we have about all of our clients.
Yeah. Defendant lobby number 3. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool. Collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife he used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up. Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. Is your brain working yet, dude? It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Phoenix? You think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Maybe, but first things first. Mia! Yes.
Mia.
Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact, says her. Why doesn't he say me anymore?
Probably because she already appeared once. And he wasn't surprised. I think he's normally surprised she's there. And he's like slowly getting more used to it. Possibly.
As her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impacts suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Carita, the victim of this murder. And that's why
Mia was asking that.
Oh.
And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita.
All to get the suicide note back.
Sounds plausible. One thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. Edgeworth!
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
Great, here we are again. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
The prosecution calls the witness supponated by this court.
I know it's like spelled really weird, but it's subpoenaed.
Subpoenaed?
Yeah, it's one of the most weirdest words.
That doesn't even sound anything close to what it's spelled.
Yeah, yeah, but it's subpoenaed. I know it's like saponade.
It's Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. What is your occupation? I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ungard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. I would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
Ah, no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all the work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. This was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
I didn't kill him. No one is accusing of you of that. I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
When I found the body.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. I saw was naturally the exact same thing as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, sadly I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix.
Mia.
She's one coolly collected customer, and she is the brains match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing.
She's the type of woman who's easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant that you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand?
Bam, beam, bam, boom, beam, bam, boom. And what was Mr. Ungard doing that this time?
He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his many performances as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. Ungard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me, it? What are you?
Objection!
Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Miss Dawnguard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue.
Jeez.
Well,
Calm
you didn't tell her
down.
what you were talking about.
Why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture, one was to make appearance with the other heroes.
So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? An option, press further. Yeah. Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon? What are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim?
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time.
You can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess.
May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room?
Yeah, my credibility is still at the same level. You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. You can't seriously expect a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I don't understand how someone would reasonably pour a glass of tomato juice once they stumble upon a crime scene.
Yeah.
It's like, my boyfriend died, gotta pour a glass of tomato juice.
This is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, someone with a knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like this too.
Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And what did you do next, witness?
Juice?
Yes, there's a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at that time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? As of the days I made one careless mistake, that one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser. When I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Wait a minute, that means the guitar case was closed. Why did you hold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Probably the picture, or a piece itself. The picture shows that it's up, and she already said that it's exactly as the picture, so if the flower vase fell then, it would have been wet on the inside.
Yeah, that makes sense. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case. What is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered. Yeah.
Some shards inside of it.
Yeah. What is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case.
Ah. What is your point, Wright? The case that was closed at the time where the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. Right where guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all.
That may very well be, however, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relationship to this case, doesn't it? It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? I guess. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone will reach straws like this, but it is you.
I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor. We got another testimony.
Yay.
I don't remember too clearly, because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. That's why I opened the case. Even I don't know.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that's almost comforting.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Using any way to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man.
Stop it. Leave me alone.
I already had to teach you grammar today, don't make me teach you math too.
Okay. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see,
Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case?
she's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me.
Wait. Is that assassin inside the crowd right now? Is that who she's waiting for an answer from? On what she should and shouldn't say?
I think she's waiting for anyone.
I mean,
She answered after the judge.
I'm just wondering because she has the card. Must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. So, you opened the guitar case, hon?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing he would do is call for help, not open a guitar case.
The witness said multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would you care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back on topic,
Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
how long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. The trial will be over in half the time if you would just pay attention.
Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. Guess I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now.
Wasn't planning on letting up, but...
She's not our weakest now, so this is our chance.
Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
Okay, so pressing will get us nowhere. We have to present something. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. Let me try this, because the guitar case does bear Karita's fingerprints. It doesn't say anything about her fingerprints. Oh, that was it. There is no way... Yeah, guitar case had Karita's fingerprints, said nothing about her fingerprints.
Yeah.
There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. What are you, Sherlock Holmes? Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Ah.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must just have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
If I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time.
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was the night of the awards ceremony. Of course I dressed up for the occasion, yet my prints are all over the glass I touched.
Yeah. Yeah, bears Andrew's fingerprints.
Ah yes, now I remember. I'm sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You're wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something to prove that I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yeah. I have your proof right here. This wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
Oh.
Her glasses broke. And she
How
had
many
it.
glasses does she have?
What? Where'd she pull that out of?
Say her bra, but I don't think her shirt will let her pull it out of there.
Nah. Order, order, order.
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case...
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lure us all into the misguided.
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as why that guitar case has anything to do with this murder at all.
Can you do that, Mr. Wright? I can do anything. Mama said I could. Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar...
So you intend to push your theory that the case is not empty, is that it, Mr. Wright?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours, you haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Wow, you have to figure that out right now.
It was you, Edgeworth.
Edgeworth was inside the case? That would be kind of funny if they actually reacted to that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know they won't. They'll just say you're penalized.
They'll just say the same thing. Unless it's actually like a scripted event, they won't say anything. Like saying it was under Von Karma's desk. Which is why that will be one of the best parts of the game. Just one of them.
So what could have been in the case?
A bit strange, but if that really is Adrian Anders in the picture, there's something in that she would have had to gotten from somewhere.
What, the costume?
Where else would she have gotten it?
Really?
I don't understand it either. That's why I'm pointing it out.
So another nickel samurai costume?
Also, Tom, there's a choice coming up. There's a choice coming up, and I kind of want to see the funny option this time. Can we choose that it was stolen? It will result in a small penalty, but it's apparently going to be funny.
Okay. This is a photograph. It sure is, Your Honor. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. And this picture.
I like the funny options.
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
What?
Take that, Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume?
Happy Halloween.
What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
Sometimes you get tricks, and sometimes you get treats. That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
The fact that you refuse Halloween? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order, order! It looks like we wandered into quite another mess, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai costume would have to have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places.
True. That is a little baffling. Isn't that a little baffling? Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this nickel samurai costume do inside the guitar case?
It was stolen.
It was stolen from Engard. I think it may have been stolen from Mr. Engard. Stolen, but why would someone do such a thing? Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show. And so, if he didn't have his costume, then Mr. Engard would be forced to go naked.
What?
It's a naked truth.
Maybe you should be stripped naked for making a mockery of this court.
If you want that, Edgeworth. Excuse me?
Mr. Ronengard did not take out his costume after the award ceremony.
Did you want all the fan fiction to come true, Edgeworth? Is that what you wanted?
He even testified that he took a nap while still wearing his costume. Also, why is this what Phoenix is thinking of whenever he might have been stolen? He had several outfits in that room. You fucking know this, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Is this not correct?
Oh yeah, he did say something like that, didn't he? That's what I thought. Let's try that one more time.
I think their funny options are better than the actual ones sometimes.
Yeah. Mr. Engard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one, like a spare tire.
Well, I guess, yeah, if you want to make sure that you can actually go out in the costume, if anything happens to it, they can repair the old one while getting in a new one.
Yeah.
What?
Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 nickel samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes!
Show me your moves.
Show me your moves! Yes! Actually, maybe I should say that. I should say yes like that. Yes! That is what I am saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean the victim himself had brought it as fair to the ceremony on purpose.
But why? There's a great meme picture of that. The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies the sticking point.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. I gotta explain myself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one?
Speaking first, thinking later is kind of a horrible strategy.
Think carefully before you answer, then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
I'll just answer with gusto anyways. That's why we have interesting conversation. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai's bear costume to the hotel was to have it as a confession, right?
Oh wait, maybe he was the one who did the confession.
Yeah. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. And it was a conference that even the guy playing Nickel Samurai didn't even know about.
Yeah. I heard about this as well. For not once, you're not making something up, Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Edgy
Poo.
Edgy Poo. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ungard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Yes.
Oh, yeah, if
Yes!
you went out there in that other person's costume, maybe you could try to make him look silly or something.
Yeah. Yes!
Show me your moves.
Show me your moves. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Going to dress up as a Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. Confess, I would wager he's going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as a Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Ungard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean.
But if that's the case, it's not a confession, that's public disclosure.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you're pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, it's just as you say. The press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him. That was also me.
You?
Wanna bet everything on Jamming Ninja this year? If he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
Looks like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
Then why did you comply with him?
And do you know what the secret is, Mr. Ungard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming up quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I'm trying to protect Matt after all.
Protect Mr. Ungard. And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us about the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
Protecting Matt.
From when I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan, no matter what. But he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling.
Who keeps doing this?
Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Come on. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. It just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Would you say that your intuition was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own.
Eric.
If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
Whew. 3 things?
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. If you think these 3 things are enough, if these things prove, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school. At least not from what I remember.
May I continue now?
Maybe.
You continue when I decide you continue, witness.
Matt had to kill one no matter what. So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes, you know how Juan chose that event and hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I'm the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show any proof he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony, and if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright?
I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove that I'm right. That's probably it, huh? Has Mr. Ungard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Kurita with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring Mr. Ungard down Mr. Ungard, yet you still helped out.
The person on trial right now is Ungard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means the defense had a motive to kill.
Why do I keep doing this to myself? But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard?
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia.
He's glaring at you, smart guy.
No, okay, it wasn't that. I thought maybe it was the press thing. Press conference thing. I was wrong. Nope, that wasn't either.
Did you get her to revise her testimony?
Yeah. Sure did.
There's a problem with that statement. The one that she had to revise.
This one?
No. Is that all you have?
This is what it is. This is the revised.
That's not right. Make sure I'm looking at the right one.
I feel like it's this, but I'm not sure.
You shouldn't be looking at that sentence at all.
Why not?
Just reroll for me again. I want to make sure I'm on the right one. No problems. There we are. Ask her about that.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage.
Then, what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene and the victim, his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Max Kakuma. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Erk. Looks like you were out fox again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With a nice stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
There you go. Now what's wrong with this statement?
I don't know.
You want me to just say it?
Let me think about it.
Okay.
I have no idea.
You okay?
Yeah, what is it?
It couldn't have been torn off during the fight. Because the cause of death was strangulation, not the stabbing. The victim was strangled and then stabbed. If it came off during the fight, it would have been clean. Strangled with a scar, then stabbed.
Well... Right, okay.
By the time there was blood on that, there wouldn't have been a fight anymore. There's a clear victor.
Right, I get it. Okay, that's kinda hidden. This is a victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This bun has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly, which means it is impossible that this bun was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight.
Oh.
That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this bun was ripped off during the struggle. This bun was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Order, order. What does it mean?
What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the bun torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know that this bun was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this bun?
I feel like having a memento of the crime will be the funny answer.
Maybe this was the criminal's first crime, and since it went so well, the person wanted something as a memento.
Right. I'll give this button to you as a memento.
Huh?
Reminder to never step foot in another court of law again for as long as you live.
Oh my gosh. But wait.
Stay away from the turning lane. Why are they so mean to Wright?
I don't know.
Like, even if you're getting everything correct, they're still mean to you.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Ungard. There's no way anyone could put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Ungard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murder is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real murder killer, then?
The same person we already indicted.
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Well, you already called her a murderer. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not till the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Ungard.
It's the killer.
Windy old bag.
We don't have a picture of the killer. Darn it.
Windy old bag.
Fun karma! Fun karma!
Fun karma. Fun karma.
I wonder if they actually would do anything if you pointed Fun karma out.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Gumshoe! Gumshoe did it!
Gumshoe did it.
I did it! I
What?
was the killer!
Judge, what face was that? He looked like he was half asleep. Miss St. Andrew and Manager, I choose you. You are Mr. Karita's killer.
It all sounded like you were calling me a Pokemon.
I choose you. Order, order, order. Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
We've already called her this earlier.
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, naturally. The knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
How many glasses do you have?
I don't know.
Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama?
This bun was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Ungard was the real killer, there is no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama.
This was 3 in this one part.
The only person who could have put this bun into Mr. Ungard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume hidden inside the guitar case? Could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrienne Andrews.
No, Right. Miss Andrews' fingerprints are nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at that time.
That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any footprints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. To avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. Because I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to the yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room,
Adrian Andrews.
That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. There's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corita.
But Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corita?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know crime I'd be guilty of due to my silence.
No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what shall we do?
Somehow we landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. Recess. I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter And at tomorrow's trial, tomorrow, we don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you swearing for? Sweating. The client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It's not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you?
Mr. Sanders holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think about how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. My actions are unusual, but I already... Before you speak, I want you to state if there's a reason behind your actions. I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out, this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
Good rhyme. Court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. We're gonna find the body.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. One, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. A glass of juice. I didn't really pour it much. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right?
Of course not.
Then who did you pour it for?
Mr. Wright, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you? In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Precisely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, this one's interesting. It seems like instead of having 2 options for evidence, this time you have 3 options for placement of evidence. this piece of evidence can contradict.
So it was a mess. Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Correa?
I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence.
Grr.
And then, what did you see, witness?
One, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in a corner. Corner? Stop right there, criminal scum. You violated the law. What? No. He's in a chair. What are you talking about corner? That was wrong?
Isn't there something that's a bit more important that you would have noticed that would definitely symbolize that he was dead?
Slumped over.
Yes, he was just sitting there, his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping.
Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? Then what did cross your mind?
I thought maybe he smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then he felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyway, that's what I thought.
I see, so you didn't think he was dead at all? Nope. Alright, I was just curious. You thought he fainted.
I thought he was asleep at first. But then the room was in such a messy state. I thought maybe he got into a fight with someone. That's when you went to pour the glass of juice. Yes, he always had a hard time waking up. So Juan always had a glass of tomato juice to drink.
I see. And after that, what happened next? When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. And how did you come to realize that he was in fact dead?
I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backwards. I knocked the flower vase over. That's what happened. Yes. This is what it all comes down to.
Huh?
This is the absolute end for both sides. And Adrian is letting your guard down. Phoenix, now's our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case.
Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time?
You had it just the wrong spot.
Right. So it's not the knife?
It is the knife.
I've just tried a few different statements.
There's 3 different statements that you place this one on.
I don't know which one it could be. That's the juice. Didn't really pour for myself. It's not that one.
Why didn't you think it was dead?
I already did this one. I thought I did this one with the knife.
Oh wait, it's not the knife. Run it. Crime photo. Crime photo shows the knife.
I did that on one of them. That's what I thought it was. First one.
Sorry, I read that.
Okay, so it is this one. Man, I thought it was either the photo or the
last
knife.
3. It could have been either of those. That doesn't make sense why they only did the crime photo.
I don't know. Anyways, so you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Ah,
But what is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corita's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man.
that's, well, you see.
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is? Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie.
Oh,
And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer.
no.
Looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Madangard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear, he's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Madangard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually. Well, usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Madangard.
Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth.
The absolute real truth? What are you...
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. But as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Madangard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? She lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Madangard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undoubtedly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her now guilty. Not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help. Please, someone help me.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. I intend to do? Well, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. Ungard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you wouldn't be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet, how dare you? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this, however.
Well, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop.
But Mr. Edgeworth!
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? Because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Isn't that basically blackmail? Please stop, I beg you. You will find out. You will find out. I'll... If you're going to say you would choose death, then that's of no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. And now people aren't calling Edgeworth a murderer. So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
My crime.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had been dead. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed one's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stabbed the body with the knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
But what do you mean by all this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Cordia, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Alright. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. That scarf was part of the Jamming Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His hair was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. Then I realized
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because one, he was going to expose Matt's biggest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop for one and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. The forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. First thing that came to my mind was to plant the knife.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. Then I stabbed.
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I can make Matt look even more suspect. So he thought to rip one of the buttons off and put it in Mr. Unguard's Hakama. Yes, that's what I plan to do. Things never go that smoothly, do they?
An inconvenience.
There's one with a camera at the ready loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There's also one with a ray gun at the ready pacing back and forth.
That's Miss Oldback for you.
Both of them are ready to grill you. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for one certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He's going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
What is the secret?
That, I don't know. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room in the nickel samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave my fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Unguard's room and planted the button?
Into Matt's Hakama, yes. After that, I folded the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word. What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Hungard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
He said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I'd done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, We can be certain she is not the real killer. But wait, Your Honor. The defense still...
Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win in acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Right after everyone leaves?
Edgeworth?
What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, it's this. Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day. Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying right there next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
Oh, it was a calling card. I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Witness, that card. Give it to me. Hurry.
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you stupidly yet inadvertently done? This? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
Never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card. What in the world is it? What does it mean?
Must be D Killer's calling card, right?
Yeah. Is mine gonna be okay?
I highly doubt he's gonna be completely happy, but if he kills Maya now, then Unguard's never going to get an acquittal. Right?
Yeah. Well, this video's gone long enough. Gonna have to cut it off here, bring it up in the next one. Wanna thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Hope you have yourself a good day. Bye bye.